and welcome back to my channel, as well as to the Tanares RPG Kickstarter series, where I am unboxing all of the published items I have received from the Kickstarter. In this video, we are going to unbox an expansion for a board game called Arena the Contest. The expansion is called Tanares Adventures, and it adds new game modes and capabilities to the Arena the board game. It also further expands on the world of Tanares by providing a map and new content specific to the world. As I said in the series introduction video, I have never played this game. This is literally my first delivery of anything specific to the Tanares system. You are also about to see the unboxing of this expansion from my perspective, so there are going to be details I won't know about the expansion until I've actually had time to sit down and play it. Once I've gathered a few friends together for a couple of games, and I feel a lot more confident about looking into providing a tutorial on how to play the series, then I may do so if this series receives a total of 5,000 likes or more that I'm aiming for. Additionally, I've included links to the Dragori website as well as the various Kickstarters in the description below if you wish to take a look at them. Before I start unboxing the box, there are a few things that need to be covered, both to provide some details about the expansion as well as to ensure you know where to look to find relevant items. This expansion added a large number of hero and villain based creatures, boss creatures, and introduced some new game mechanics and other changes as well. And it was all part of a base Kickstarter as well as containing several add-ons and stretch goals. With respect to the creatures, this includes their miniatures, detail cards, and boss pads for those larger boss creatures. Additionally, new maps, tokens, and game modes, campaigns, and scenarios were included with this expansion alongside that Kickstarter. It also introduced the Dragon Collection add-on, which was also provided as an add-on for the RPG Kickstarter. We also saw the introduction of the Madness Box, which contains a number of the various stretch goals that were unlocked during the second Kickstarter and have remained included as an option to pick up with respect to the RPG Kickstarter. This is also the Kickstarter where Liz the Medusa was added as an optional purchase, and it has been included in a separate package on its own. A lot of these miniatures have had minor alterations to add further detail, or have had name changes to make them more friendly to be used with the RPG-based settings. And all of these additions remain in place, but if you only purchased the expansion box and did not add the Dragon Collection or Madness boxes as part of the options for your RPG Kickstarter, you will only have the items that were introduced as part of the expansion set. This is still a huge number of components that can be used with the base board game, so you should not feel like you're missing out. With that, we can go ahead and start taking a look at the box itself. And the one thing that I want to point out right away with respect to this box is it is massive. The whole thing weighs 18 pounds. And while it might look like it is two separate boxes, the seam is actually the lid that you see here, and it just fits onto this. So it is insanely large with respect to what is included in this box. It's a little easier to get this lid off. There isn't as much friction or suction, if you will. And it makes it a little bit easier to open up. I do believe that some of these might be taped down. Yeah. So this is one set where you will find some tape that is holding down these lids. And there's one on either side. But you can already see that there are a huge number of miniatures as well as associated cards that are included with them. And I have been told that the cards for the Madness box, if you did get it, are included in this Adventures box. I'm going to try to find that just in case. In the second tray, we can see that there are a large number of figurines here, some of various sizes, as well as the scenario cards and a couple of other documents that are still underneath the plastic there, which we'll get to here in a moment. The third tray contains one of the larger bosses, many of the cards, as well as some full-sized miniature decks. I wasn't expecting that. They are also wrapped up in plastic. We have a number of little plastic boxes or acrylic boxes, something that's very small. They're not hollow in any way, shape, or form, so I suppose that would make them cubes. How large are these decks? Yeah, these are full-size decks with respect to the characters, plus some more tokens. I'm not sure what is supposed to go here, to be honest. I might find that out later on. Let's see, getting access to this. we get access to the boards and tiles. So once again, it's a very similar set of puzzle pieces with respect to the boards. These pop out. Sorry, the tiles, I should say. These all pop out. There's some extensive ones here. These are wrapped in cellophane, so I'll have to take a look at them individually here in a moment. We got a wood flooring. We got a mystical fog-like flooring, some log piles, campfire. This looks like some ice tiles. A couple of keys and treasure item tiles here. Some different tiles here. I don't know what those are for. I'll have to take a look at that later. There is a empty plastic bag here, most likely to handle some future items that are going to go in here. And then we have the rather large book, which is why it's at the bottom. This thing here is the bulk of the reason as to why this box weighs so much. And I'm going to pop this open here for the moment because I want to answer a question if I can. There we go. Quite a bit of cellophane here, you can see. All right, let's set that there. All right, so I'm not sure if these are the ones in the Madness box or not. I'm going to have to go and take a look just to compare, but these are some boss pads. We have some more quick start guides. It's the Tanares Adventures Quick Start. A couple of pages in here, very similar format to the arena. These are some campaign perks for a campaign log. Actually, this is the campaign log and campaign perks. Again, I'll have to research as to what that is. Here's our map. And this is effectively what the world of Tanares looks like. And I apologize if there's any glare here. Hopefully there isn't. And as you can see, we've got some placement for some decks there. On the other side of it, we have a different kind of board shop. I'm not sure what this is. This is for the city phase. Okay. So this must represent the city component of the game, which I'll have to get familiar with myself as well. This is the book for dealing with the city phase, I would assume. It's rather large. This is a journal. Holy jeez. This thing has probably a good 5-6 pounds on its own. And this contains a lot of information, probably the companion or campaign book rather, with respect to what's going on here. Was that a Find Waldo page? Yeah, nice. I love the artwork that I'm just seeing here. I'm not going to show too much because I don't want to get into trouble. I don't think I will, but that's nice there. This is a much smaller one. This is a quest guide. Oh, I love that graphics. So lots of little details in there. Nice. Okay. And then we have the actual rule book itself. And there's nothing underneath this, so this is the lowest that the box goes down. So I'm going to put all of these back in and then set the box aside so that we can take a look at the individual items on each of the trays, or at least expose a bit more of the tray itself. And we'll take a look at these cards a little bit later on. So this tray isn't covered, but it does contain these cubes that I'm curious about. Yeah, they kind of feel like acrylic or glass of something. I imagine these might relate to the city phase, maybe. There's all kinds of different colors. I'm seeing oranges, ambers, sort of like a smoky quartz, maybe. Black, yellow, a clear one, green, some blues, reds, oranges, yeah. Lots of different colors in there. Probably a total of 8, maybe. Seems it's meant to be played with up to 8 characters. There's also some plastic tokens here. I'll have to figure out what those are for. They might be for effects or specific kinds of placements. I'm going to put those there because it seems to make more sense there. Individual decks. So there's 6 decks here. I don't know if the upper tray has any additional decks or any more of these. These are the thin decks, so we'll have to figure out what these are for, but they're actually kind of small if you take that into comparison with these decks here. So these look like these might be item cards of some kind. We have one of the bosses here. Wow, the level of detail on that. That's going to be very hard for me to paint. I might try to paint one of the simpler ones first. And be careful down here. This is very thin. It's the same kind of plastic that the other one was made of, and it has the Arena of the Contest, Tanares Adventures, as well as a unique number here with respect to the item itself. So I'll set that back inside. I don't know. Oh, that's interesting. This has a lid. These must be for the tokens and tile cards. You can put them all in here. So that'll be cool. It's got a nice little lid to hold them all down on. It's actually kind of solid with respect to the plastic. The sides, the walls are a little flimsy, but the rigidness of the actual unit is actually pretty solid. All right, so once the tape is off, again, it's an embossed lid. It's got the Dragori Games logo and name here, and it looks like a wizard of some kind on the embossing. It's actually kind of cool. Let's see. All right, so we have cards, not books here. All right, that makes a little bit more sense. And then we also have some larger cards here to represent the Tanares Adventure stuff. Probably the different kinds of bosses that you can get with the Madness Pack. The one thing that I've noticed is that this seems to flop around a little bit. There's a plastic ridge here. Might be less of an issue if additional cards are thrown in there, or once the cards themselves have been used a few times, they might expand out a little bit. Might flatten that down a little bit. There isn't a whole lot of room with respect to height here. There are a large number of individual figurines. We've got pairs in several locations, and it's kind of neat how they got that stacked. Generally, it looks like it's mostly pairs. There's a couple of unique ones. These are some triplets, if you will. Looks like barrels of some kind, maybe? Yeah, stacks of barrels. Duplicates, 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 duplicates. So it looks like you've got a wide variety of options here with respect to what you can use. And these three here are... Actually, they look like they're the only unique ones with respect to this particular tray. I'm going to go ahead and put that lid back on and set this in here. It's a snug fit, which is good. Let's get the tape off. I find if you lift the lid of the plastic here, it actually pulls the tape up enough for you to be able to get your hand underneath of it and get at it fairly easily. I'm just going to set that there. So we have additional card collections here. So Tactician, Commander, and the Yemi the Succubus of Envy. Interesting. Okay. And then a smaller stack of cards here, which is interesting. I'll have to take a look into what these represent a little bit later on. Then we've got the trays for the rounder tokens here, which is good. Looks like a lot of individuals here. These might be the heroes that are introduced in this and the unique creatures, which is good. There are a few duplicates in this section, as well as quads. This guy looks like he moved around as well. So that is actually two different figurines. No, actually it's the same one. It looks like I have one with a broken bow, which is unfortunate. That's the first broken piece I have seen. And it looks like the top snapped off, but I don't see it in the box. So I'm not sure what happened there, unfortunately. But that's fine. It just represents that he might be a damaged character in some way, shape, or form. All right, let's have a look here. A couple of individuals as well. Oops. Again, same material, same plastic. They're all fairly stiff plastic, so they do have some durability associated with them. They shouldn't cause too much in the way of issues there. Looks like most of these are actually in fairly good condition. I don't see any additional damage right off. Take a look at this guy. He's flipped around a little bit. Slightly different position, but no, everything looks good there. So nice. Looks like some decent quality. It's going to be some fun trying to paint all of that. So that's everything that's with this particular box. I want to thank you for watching this particular video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.